Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhai Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Sanstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, after the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Kshamakade Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Hare Krishna. So we are extremely fortunate to have with us His Grace Basu Ghosh Prabhu. So Basu Ghosh Prabhu was personally initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1974, and Prabhuji was serving in Gujarat for more than 40 years. And Prabhuji is also Vice Chairman of ISKCON India Governing Council Bureau.
Ex-Vice Chairman. Ex.
He is also Regional Secretary for ISKCON Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, and Temple President of ISKCON Baroda in Gujarat. And Prabhuji is the one who took initiative to start IIYC, so which is started in 2016. He is the one who gave that suggestion. And since then, for almost last 8 years, it's successfully going on. So we're extremely fortunate that to have Prabhuji is there with us for last 3-4 days. And today is giving Bhagavatam class for all of us. Let us welcome His Grace Basu Ghosh Prabhu and thank him for his wonderful association by chanting one time loudly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Basu Ghosh Prabhu was here in Hyderabad from 1975. 1974.
April 74 till February 79.
So
almost 5 years.
Basu Ghosh Prabhu was here, and he was the best enroller in life members. He enrolled many life members in the Twin Cities, as well as we went to Goa also, and he went to Singapore, he went to Dubai and other places to collect funds for the temple construction. So actually this temple has been constructed mostly by the devotional endeavor of Basu Ghosh Prabhu. So we should never forget this. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Actually, what happened was, temple was being built, and I went with another devotee to Dubai in July 1976. Earlier, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, that was September, October, November, December 1975. So over there I collected something 65,000 rupees. So 65,000, that was in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia. I think Indonesia alone, I was alone. Malaysia and Singapore, there were 2 other devotees, 3 of us. But that was only really, that was a month and 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks. Then I was in Indonesia for 1 month. But 1 month I remember 50,000. I don't know, maybe it was more. Singapore, Indonesia might have, Singapore and Malaysia might have been, 30,000. So 30 and 50, 80. So in those days, that was a lot of money. Of course, we had to pay for, expenses. And I remember flying from Singapore to Madras, Chennai. Prabhupada came January 1st and 2nd. You were there, 1976. and then 5 days in Nellore with Prabhupada, 73, 4, 5, 6, 7 January 1976. Then I went to Dubai with one other devotee. He wasn't a fundraiser, but he had been there earlier. And anyway, we collected 3 lakhs of rupees. And as soon as we got the money, we were sending it here. And that helped finish, well, this is a renovated temple, but that helped at that time. And the inauguration, you have all the pictures on the walls, which is very nice. Actually, Prabhupada had said that he wouldn't build this temple. He said the local gentleman should build this temple. And local people became life members, and there were some donations. Srinidhi collected some. He left his body now. He's no more. He got some good donations. And anyway, it was a team effort. It's not like I built the temple, not exactly like that, but it was a team effort. But that money from Dubai in the last 1 month before the opening was a big boost. Now, I'll put it in, this is how I put it into perspective. 10 tolas of gold, 10 tolas of gold today is 6.5 lakhs, right? Correct? 65,000 rupees is 1 tola. 65,000 today. The devotee who came with me, his pictures are here in Wonard, but he's long gone. I heard that he left his body, but we haven't seen him for a long time. So he told me, this is a funny story. He was eccentric, I don't know how to put it, but he said, I'm going to take sannyas. He never took sannyas. But I need money. So we bought 10 tolas of gold for him. But it wasn't 6.5 lakhs. It was 3,000 rupees in Dubai. And in India it was 6,000 rupees. So from 6,000 to 6.5 lakhs. So you can see that 3 lakhs we collected, the money power it had in those days. Right? Anyway, I told Prabhupada here that we went to Dubai and we collected the money and he was happy. Unfortunately, there was some, Hare Krishna, but I better not talk too much. But there's somebody in one of these pictures who spoiled that to a certain extent. Not fully, but anyway, Hare Krishna. This is the material world. But now this temple, so many people are coming. Yesterday I saw so many people. Yesterday I didn't speak. I had that Attapur in the morning and Secunderabad in the night. And there was a good crowd at Secunderabad. Good crowd. Prabhupada told Tejas. Tejas, have you heard his name? Tejas? Just a few people. So actually when Prabhupada was given this land at Medchal, so he put, Mahamsa was in charge, but he brought Tejas from Delhi. He was an agricultural graduate. And Hansaduta came here in 1972, I think. There was a picture of him, or 75. 75 he came. So he put these 3 people in charge of that Medchal farm. And didn't work out. But now, so Prabhupada, Tejas was the president of Delhi. He was the first president of ISKCON in Delhi. And Prabhupada told him, you can have 108 temples in Delhi. And now there are 15 in Delhi, that area. It's called NCR, National Capital Region. So that means, you know, Ghaziabad, Noida, Faridabad, Bahadurgarh, big temple in Bahadurgarh, which is over the border. Actually, it's in Haryana. And in Delhi itself, there are a bunch of temples. So one is opening now on Ram Navami. I will not be there because they announced it too late, and I already made another program, and tickets are booked. Colony. They say Dwarka, but Dwarka is Colony. They say Dwarka, but Dwarka is in Gujarat, by the way. Dwarka Dham. So Dwarka Dham, Dwarka Colony. So 4 centers in Hyderabad is not enough. Of course, we have competition, but I won't go into that in detail. You probably know about that. But there's not one competition. Actually, there's a lot of competition, right? There are so many spiritual societies. We call them so-called. Some are Vaishnavas, and some are totally concocted nonsense. So anyway, keep on. Youth preaching is the most important. Actually, that I was a nimitta. You know, in Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, nimitta matra bhava savyasachin. How many of you heard this verse before? Oh, not everybody. Wow, that's one of the most famous verses of Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat tvamutishta yashola bhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham te evaite nihitav purvameva nimitta matra bhava savyasachin. Become my instrument. Oh Arjuna, become my instrument. So I was an instrument in uniting youth preaching all over India. It wasn't even my idea, you know that? Wasn't my idea. But I was the chairman of the IIAC, which is now IBAC, ISKCON Bharat. Actually, ISKCON is also some kind of English, what do they call it? When you put the first letters together, what's that called? It's an abbreviation, but it's something else also. Acronym, I can't remember. ISKCON is because of English. It's not Sanskritam. Bharata is Sanskritam. So ISKCON Bharata Advisory Committee. Oh, it's all English, but now we have Bharata. But at that time it was ISKCON India Advisory Committee. So I was the chairman. And actually our ISKCON Baroda Youth, IYF, ISKCON Youth Forum. Here there's ISKCON Youth Services. And everywhere there's some, something. So he told me, he said, all of the youth preachers should get together on one platform. He suggested that. And Vamsidhari Prabhu, his name is Vamsidhari, he's a brahmachari. He's an NIT Bhopal graduate, disciple of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. But he was trained in Pune. We call it the Pune paradigm, right? The system developed in Pune. I love the system developed in Pune, but there's one thing I don't like, but I won't tell you what it is. Okay, should I tell you? Choreographed dancing. It seems to me, it's not that I don't like it, but it seems artificial. Anyway, excuse me, I should not say this because the youth preaching of Pune is the real lifeblood of ISKCON now. We have so many, long time ago, because we were not youth preachers, we were fundraisers. Prabhupada sent us for making life members. We didn't study Vedas, Shastras. That's another, excuse me. So I made one life member, Punjabi Sikh. in in Baroda. This is like 1985. And he was an old man who had been in the British Army as an engineer. And he came from Pakistan, Punjab was divided. Hindus and Sikhs came to India, and Sikhs are Hindus. What is this nonsense? They're Hindus. Muslims went to Eastern Punjab. Anyway, he told me, you must have a Yuva Dal. This is 40 years ago. But I don't even remember his name. They used to call him Pitaji, father. He was an older, elderly man. Youth preaching is the most important, I feel, outreach program for ISKCON. And we can see the fruits. Otherwise, raising funds, going out and meeting businessmen, it's required, but you don't get full-time devotees from that program. You don't get anybody. You get money. Lakshmi Devi, Shakti, it's required. Prabhupada told another god brother, management means men and money. So money, there was a movie about Gandhi. How many of you saw the Gandhi movie? Gandhi movie. Hand, higher. Raise your hand. Really? So few people saw that, huh? You didn't see? Really? Wow. Anyway, in that movie, there is one scene when Gandhi, the story of Gandhi, he went to England, he became a barrister, and then he went to South Africa to practice law. And he started his civil disobedience, satyagraha and all that in South Africa. So the Congress Party was for independence. The whole aim of Congress Party was independence. Gandhi actually said, after independence, you should, dissolve the Congress Party, because the aim of Congress Party was independence from England. Anyway, so Gandhi comes back, right? And he meets this Gopal Krishna Gokhale. You've heard of him? Gopal Krishna Gokhale. So in the movie they show, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Radha Madan Mohan ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki. So in the movie, Gandhi says to Gokhale says to Gandhi, now you've come back, what's your plan? So Gandhi said, I'll establish my law practice. So Gokhale said, no. This is a true story. No law practice. There are plenty of rich people in this country who don't know what to do with their money. They have plenty of money. Why you want to bang your head? And we need India to become independent. That was that was the whole aim of Gandhi movie, to show how, India became independent from British rule. So, yeah, collection of funds, there's a lot of money out there and it's important. But without youth preaching, this institution will fade away. It could go on without, there are many institutions we see, religious institutions. There's one old man there in the temple and then there's nobody else. They wanted to hold power and they didn't want to bring in anybody. Every temple is not Tirupati or Sri Rangam or Kanchipuram, where there's a lot of pujaris and a lot of people. And it's hereditary system. But institutions like ISKCON, many of them have just dried up because they don't have youth. They don't have that generational change. that is going to take place even for you in the future. So youth preaching never should end. It has to go on. It's very important. Because then without youth preaching, there's no life. There's no life. Old people have, now Maharaj had to go away because his health is not good. He's suffering. And Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukha Doshanu Darshanam, right? Vyadi. There is so much disease. So many doctors, so many hospitals, but disease has not been stopped. Isn't it? No, disease. So much research. Research is there, but it intrinsic in the material body is to get disease. Now that disease, it's different. Some people live to 100, 105. Somehow or other the body goes on working. But not most people, right? So the saying is that after 70, month by month. After 80, day by day. But, there's exceptions to every rule. And there's plenty of people, they never see 70. Or they never see 80. One godbrother just left his body in Vrindavan. And he was a fundraiser in Hong Kong and Taiwan for 40, 45 years. After all those years, he came to New York City and he didn't feel good. And he went for a checkup. And they said, you have cancer in the 4th stage, incurable, terminal. So he came to Vrindavan. He left his body in Vrindavan. So he didn't see 80. He didn't see 75 maybe. So every human body is different. Nobody can say. But human life is rare. Human life is rare. I don't know if I should start the verse because I have to go. I have to make a move by about 9 o'clock. I have to end this. Should I start the verse? I talked a lot. Or should I talk more about Hyderabad? And I don't know much more. What can I say? Meeting businessmen for so many years. Right? And this businessman, that businessman, this businessman. That was our job. That was our job. When I was 89. And then I started, that was a fundraising, 89. And then I started, that was a fundraising. And I can't give it up. I'm going now on 26th night. 25th night, sorry. 25th night I'm going. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sweet. It's not a lecture, just informal talk. What is it? Old habits die hard is a saying in English. The habit of fundraising. I'm not 70 yet, but it's very close. Indian 70 will begin after Ram Navami. Indian 70, entering 70. We say 69, and here they say 70. So I'm still going back for fundraising. But giving lectures here, I got an opportunity to give some lectures, hard-hitting lecture yesterday. I didn't get to the verse, and I have, 20 minutes left. Yeah, but I have to go to the airport. Actually, this trip was not planned. But I had a ticket back to Baroda from Hyderabad. So Sri Ram Prabhu said, get down and I'll book you another ticket. So, okay. And we got down and my daughter was there. She took the luggage. On the phone, they said, we cannot check the luggage to Hyderabad. Centers, there's no devotees. Then the next frontier is the farm communities. That is being neglected. And you know, there are pictures on that wall, Prabhupada at that Medchal farm. And he was very, you know, gung-ho at the very end. 50% of my work is remaining to introduce Varnashram. And when he said Varnashram, he meant village industries. In 1974, when I came, 400 Western devotees came for Gaur Purnima, which is going on now. And we were in Mayapur for a week, then we all went to Vrindavan. And then Prabhupada told all the devotees, everyone stay for one more month. I don't know, Anandamaya, you didn't come to Mayapur 74. I don't think so. You don't remember. I don't think. Anyway, 400 foreign, you know, there was the Australian group, German group, you know, they had from all over the world. Prabhupada told everyone stay one more month. Nobody was mentally prepared. They thought, well, after Vrindavan, we're going back to our respective yatras. So he said, 200 will go back to Mayapur and learn Varnashram. And 200 come to Bombay. My name was for Mayapur. But I had joined Achyutananda, and so I came with him to Bombay. And there was a satyagraha, right? The sheriff of Bombay, you heard that story, no? Sheriff of Bombay is an appointed post that was from the British Raj to honor some prominent citizen. They called him sheriff. Huh? No. Can't remember his name right now. So he influenced the sheriff and he issued a letter. ISKCON's Kirtan in Juhu is a nuisance. So because of that, Prabhupada wanted the Kirtan in that Juhu area. 150 devotees went. Every day, 10 days we went. Then I was sent here by Achyutananda in the unreserved, without a reservation, unreserved train. That was an experience. So, yeah, Prabhupada wanted devotees to, what did it mean to learn Varnashram? How to make mridangas and how to do agricultural activities and churning butter. You know, now there's a awakening. They have machines, but ghee should be made from dahi. Ghee should be made from dahi, not from cream. So they call it bilona, right? Previously, the ladies used to do that. And now nobody wants to do that. It's gone out of practice. So there's a machine, you know, and churns the dahi into butter. So according to Ayurveda, you have to make butter like that in order, otherwise, you know, it gives you cholesterol or something. More Telangana. But over there in the corner, Kurma Gram, I haven't been there. So these type of things, when you talk about congregational preaching, then we should encourage the congregation to return to an agrarian lifestyle. Problem is that the land has become so costly that it's hard to purchase the land and start farming activities. But, you know, the logic is you cannot eat the microphone. You cannot eat RCC pillars. You eat vegetables and grains. Annad bhavanti bhutani. So that has to be encouraged. But yeah, it's the disease of modern education is it's a pandemic, right? Modern educational pandemic. Everybody has to be an engineer or a doctor or a computer scientist, or his life is ruined. And the government, by making industrialization, they took the people away from the land. So that has increased the disease because it's artificial. It's nonsense. If you're working in the fields, you get fresh air, fresh water, unpolluted. There's no banging noise all day, bang, 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 bang. What is a factory? It's hellish condition. Yesterday there was a discussion, I discussed that, adho gachanti tamasaha. Those who are in the mode of ignorance, they have to take birth, asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani. These verses are there. So Naraka is also in this planet. It's not that it may be in another planet. I'm not saying it's not. But we can see hellish life in this planet. So say you go to the Himalayas. Nobody can live there. And you cross the Himalayas, you come to Russia. And there's 12 months, 24/7 cold. And there are animals and trees and a few humans also that live in such hellish condition. It is always cold. So that's not hell? That's not hellish? So we are encouraging everyone to be sattvic. Give up the bad habits. We were in Bangladesh, first time after 50 years in India. I went to Bangladesh. You've been there. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's a psychosis. Oh, Bangladesh. You can't go there. But nothing like that. No, nobody bothered us. So, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, I wasn't invited. I invited myself. I wanted to see the place. I had never gone, so I went with Maharaj. So he said if it wasn't for ISKCON, the Hindus of Bangladesh, they wouldn't know that eating fish is wrong. And in Mayapur, if you take a walk outside of ISKCON, you'll see people are purchasing fish every morning. There's somebody on a bicycle with these aluminum or cast iron containers that they tie on the bicycle. They're circular and they're full of water and they're full of fish. And they go house to house and sell the fish. So eating fish is tamasic. If you eat fish, how can you become sattvic? You have to give it up. Rajas were allowed to eat meat, but even they had to give it up in the end, right? They had to perform prayashchitam and go in Vanaprastha ashram. What can you eat? Phal and mula, roots and fruits. So, yeah, preaching, all types of preaching is required. The world is being misguided. And of course, now India is in a good, the Prime Minister goes to temples and bows down. So he's setting a good example. That's the first time in the history, although we have the picture the Chief Minister came here in 1976. But it wasn't easy to get him. He actually canceled and then somehow changed. He changed twice. He said yes, then he said no, then he came. So it's another story. So, people, secular, so-called secularists, they're afraid of religion. They don't want to, please the Hindus. And so the people were not getting, inspired to follow their own culture and religion. Now that's changing, so that's good. That's good. It's a good atmosphere. And the youth are also waking up because of the political leadership. Whole India was Rama, right? Jai Shri Ram, a couple months ago, right? When Ram Lalla was installed, the whole India. I was in Puri, and I saw, the Prime Minister asked everybody to light diyas. And in Puri, everybody lit the diyas. Unfortunately, in Puri, I saw more animal slaughter than I saw in Bangladesh. It's fact. I shouldn't say. I told in a lecture, in Vrindavan, no mansahar. You won't find any chickens being killed in Vrindavan. No liquor shop in Vrindavan. But in Puri, I also said, Navin Patnaik Jayo Jayo Jayaha, because he spent 800 crores fixing up. Have you seen that? Around the Jagannath temple. Fantastic work they've done. Very beautiful. They really beautified very nicely. In Ujjain, government spent 800 crores fixing that area near the Mahakal temple. So the governments have, become a little sensitive to the sentiment of the people. But they didn't ban non-veg food and liquor in Puri, unfortunately. They should. So that's our work. Yeah, originally, when I came to travel with him. So that was April 74. And then what happened that there was a shed over here where the deities were. This was a construction area. I remember labor was 4 rupees a day for a man and 2 rupees for a woman in those days. Yeah, that was labor. So in the shed, Achyutananda started giving lectures. I think it started in May. And May, June, July, was that it? 3 months. The place was 300 people would come. It was a small shed. 300 people would come. He would play a tambura, I would play the mridanga. Remember that? No, Anandamai. And then I don't know who played kartals. Yeah, well, imitation of a good thing is not bad. So he would do bhajans for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and I would play the mridanga. He was playing a tambura. He had a good voice. That was a long time ago. He was a good lecturer also. Pin drop silence. Every day for 3 months. Then he went to Vrindavan or Mayapur, I forget. Then he sent me to Mayapur. And Gargamuni wouldn't let me take his trunk. Remember, they had those steel trunks. So I had that trunk of his. It took 2 days to get to Calcutta from here in the steam engine. And you would turn black from that, And Gargamuni said, no, he's staying here. Leave it here. You can't take it to Mayapur. I went to Mayapur. He said, what? Why? He was there. That's, he was angry, but what could you do? What could he do? So anyway, he came back. I came back separately. And in end of September, we started touring. And that we went first, that Sirpur, Sirpur, there's a paper factory, Kagajnagar, Adilabad district. Then we went to Nagpur. And from Nagpur, we straight drove to Visakhapatnam from Nagpur. Huh? Adilabad, yeah. At Sirpur also? How far is it from Adilabad, Sirpur? They don't know. It's an hour drive. And we went to Nagpur, then we came to Visakhapatnam, Kakinada, Rajamundry. Yeah, Achyutananda's lectures were arranged. I think there was that, what was his name? Gurudev, right? There was this devotee named Gurudev. And he disappeared. He was a Kannadiga. I think he was from Karnataka, as I recall. Udupi, right. He organized some of the programs, as I recall. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, programs were there. Programs were arranged in every place. Kakinada, Vishakhapatnam, Nagpur, Rajamundry, and then Guntur. And that's where we had some fun. And then Vijayawada after Guntur. That was January 75. Bhargava was with us, the photographer. You ever heard of his name? Never heard Bhargava, Prabhupada disciple? You've heard him? He lives in Los Angeles in an RV. And I haven't seen him I haven't been there for years now. So, yeah, he was a BTG photographer. And then we had the last program with the Chutananda was Bangalore. April, May 75. And after that, I stayed here. And I didn't travel with the Chutananda after May 75. 5 years. Well, I came in April 74 and I left in February 79. And that's when I met Jasomati Nandan Prabhu. He was in Chicago when I joined. So I knew him right from the beginning, 73. And so he said, come to Ahmedabad. And I had a few offers. I won't mention it all, but I came to Ahmedabad ultimately. So I was a year in Ahmedabad, and I was in Baroda 2 months, and Surat a year and a half. Back to Ahmedabad, we did book distribution 6 months. We got vehicle. Then I collected money for a bus. But before the bus was, we used to buy a chassis was 3 lakhs. In, what was that, 1982. 1982, the chassis was 3 lakhs. Then they had the body was under, we were building a body for that. And then he sent me back to Surat, 83 January. And then Indira Gandhi's assassination was 84 November. So that's when I became a Grihastha and then settled in Baroda. So it's 9 o'clock without the Bhagavatam. Excuse me. So yeah, this was an unplanned visit, but it was nice.
That you and Achyutanand Prabhu used to do here were very powerful programs, big pandal programs here.
A lot of people came to those programs. For like 5,000 people would come. There was no TV. There were cinema theaters, you know, but people didn't go. There's no smartphones, you know. Here now we're all looking at our smartphone every day 25 times or more. So
these programs are how long? Are they 1 or 2 hours programs?
an hour, hour and a half.
It's a lecture and kirtans.
Kirtan, then lecture. Questions. And Telugu translation was there.
Line by line. Line by line translation happened.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. It was English lectures, and then I was enrolling life members, but wasn't so easy to go for a few days. But some members we made something. Guntur was a rich place. I don't know now. I guess it is. There was a Gaudiya Mutt in Guntur. But yeah, they're sleeping. You know, they're not doing much. In those days, it was there. Rajamundry was Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj's. He attended our program. He also spoke when we had the Rajamundry program. But did we stay with him? No, we stayed separately, I think. We didn't stay in his ashram. No. We might have gone there for prasad once. I can't remember now. But I had met him earlier because I went with another devotee for life membership there. And he couldn't make any members. That's another story. I have to wind it up because we have to head to the airport in an hour. If it's a 1:30 flight, you should be there by 11:30. And it's about a 1.5 hour drive. That long. Terrible, huh? Yeah, traffic here is really god-awful. All the big cities, That's why Baroda is nice. It's not a big city, you know. It's big, but it's not too big, you know. Even though they made all these flyovers, they don't have the US system where there's a highway in the city. You might have noticed that. But even that, in a rush hour, even that you can't move. During rush period, doesn't matter how big the highway, and it's just full of cars. So this, Prabhupada didn't like that civilization, motor car civilization. You know, just now we had the MEB meeting in Mayapur. So Tara Prabhu, you've heard of him? He's a Palestinian. Very few Palestinian devotees, right? But he was raised, at the age of 15, he came to the US. He was raised in Saudi Arabia. He speaks Arabic. So, I mean, he made a proposal some years ago and he reiterated no scooters inside the compound, except electric, or if somebody's sick, you know, there's some exceptions. So, you know, we said, well, there are 2 bullock carts that ferry the people from the Govindas to the Goshala. So I said, you know, quadruple that, you know, because all the bulls are there. Just have to make the carts, but it doesn't fly. What's the difficulty? They have so much money. Mayapur has so much money. It's exploding over there. How many thousands of people every day are coming? Make a few more bullock carts and have them move all over the compound. Free rides. Hare Krishna. What to do? What can I do? At least they have 2. Well, it's nice that you're spending good time here. Huh? In America, they're all from here. All the Hindus. I know in Dallas, there's 200,000 Hindus, right? 2 lakhs Hindus in Dallas. And all Andhra people, Telangana, Andhra, the vast majority. Not all, obviously, but a lot. You must be making some connections, right? And we need more youth preachers all over the world, actually. Bhaktivedanta Manor, we had a talk. I was with Dayaram and that Pranabandhu was there. So you should... Shruti is gone, tata dehantara prapti. But, you know, with Dayaram's help, Pranabandhu can help facilitate you. Because he's the big boss at the manor. And they need youth preaching. I don't think they have it so organized. Yeah, but they don't have recruitment. They need you. But you can't spend so much time. You can spend some time. Take a week. I know, no, but go there also for 1 week. Up to you. One thing is, you'll break the journey between US and India. It will be better for you physically. Yeah. It's a big difference. You know, I shouldn't take too much time, but last thing. I'm going on 11th May. Same flight I went in July. Indigo takes you to Istanbul. So that's like 6-7 hours. So what happened? They asked for volunteers to get off the flight. And they gave 600 euros each. I wasn't in such a rush that I couldn't wait and they give you a free hotel. So that really broke the jet lag. And even though it's 11 hours from Istanbul to Washington, D.C., but still, you're taking rest overnight, you feel some relief. London is more in the middle than Istanbul. So if you break there, you'll get some refresh, you know. It won't be so much of a burden. Of course, if you go in business class, which I don't go because I hunt for the cheapest ticket, but if you go in business class, then it's not so bad because you can lie down and sleep. But if you're traveling economy, you break in England, because all Hindus there. There's 10 lakhs or more Hindus in the UK. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. ISKCON Hyderabad Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Radhe Sham Prabhu ki jai. Anandamaya Prabhu ki jai. Swami Garu, he couldn't, he left because his some health is not good. Ki jai. Hare Krishna.